One sec, guys. All right, let's wait for somebody. Let's wait for somebody to join up, and then we'll begin. Gotta keep that open from. All right, here we go. Hello, everybody. We're doing the part 2 that we mentioned. So I don't know if you guys remember this, but we did a thing a little while back before Christmas where we discussed the KVU lore. We were about to start on the one-day war, but we stopped because I needed to go off and do some stuff. But we're back for part 2. And, of course, as always, is our special guest, Jameson 19. Yay, you're on now.
Yay.
All right, can you hear yourself on the stream right now, by the way?
Let me see. Yeah.
All right, good. All right, so here he is, the man of the channel. He's my associate. I like to call him my best friend. He'd probably not quite agree, but anyways, here we are. We're back for part 2, and we are about to begin the one-day war. We stopped off just as King Midas was about to send off his troops off to the 19 bunker.
Oh no. Alright, I gotta find that now. There it is.
Alright, so we're on Revenge of the Sith. And apparently Rex, or Richard, or whatever his name is, he has glasses too, even though he never wears them again.
Sure. Definitely not a mistake.
Kind of like how Alex suddenly has glasses now at the end of Psych the movie.
Definitely not a mistake.
Definitely. Yep. Yeah. So I was rewatching part 1, and I saw my end of Bunker Warlock recap. You know, the bit where I recapped the end of Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
So I think, guys, I may actually make a full-on Bunker Warlock recap, not a song, because I actually do have this song here that I'm going to release at the beginning of next year as a promotional video, and it's a Kermit recap song. I don't want to sing it right now because I'm lazy. But at the beginning of 2021, you guys will get to see that. And I may do a regular Bunker Warlock recap, like this is the Bunker Warlock in how many minutes. Alright, but anyways, back to the story. So, Revenge of the Sith marks the beginning of the one-day war. So let's talk about that, Jameson. That's more your department, so why don't you give some of the opening statements about that?
So, King Midas finally leads his alien troops into the 19 bunker. And then he actually learned something from the Dark Evil Lord, because he was training with her. And he learned how to brainwash and how to use... What's it called?
Mind control?
What?
Mind control, is that what you're saying? Or is it the Dark Evil way? Or the... Oh, no! The 13 curses. 13 curses.
13 curses, that's right.
And he begins to...
With that knowledge, he has a plan. He's going to...
erase all life in the universe except for dogs.
Jameson, all the 19s. But his hidden plan is to erase every species in the world except for dogs.
Yep.
So he snaps his fingers when he arrives and brainwashes Alex and Dale, turning them into Lord Dale
and General Alex.
General Alex, and Alex allows Jameson to run off into the Dark Forest, and then because Dale's gonna
kill him.
Jameson, so Dale
because good soldiers follow orders.
Alex decided.
Yo.
Jameson is to burn Alex or Dale or something.
And then he gets evil Jameson's face mask because his face is all burned.
Oh yeah.
And King Midas says it will take 3,000 years for his face to repair. Remember that. It'll be important later.
Yeah.
So anyways, first I have a question for you, Jameson.
Alright.
So, in Galavan, I know I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but Lord Dale's personality, like, his Lord Dale-ness kind of just leaves. And the same goes for Alex. Is that ever going to become a problem later? Is that identity ever going to resurface?
Probably not,
Sounds like something that could potentially be explored in the Alex and Dale show or in a potential movie. But anyways, never mind that. So Dale is Lord Dale now, but Jameson's got his own problems because when he runs off into the forest, he encounters the dark, evil Lord. But wait a minute, they look like each other, so now they're friends.
Let me explain more. That must mean that they are clones.
Yeah, so, they're clones.
And Barbara then says that, it would be irrational or something. She says some big word. It would be, I couldn't kill you. It would be
immoral.
Something, I forget the word.
Immoral? Is that the word you're looking for?
Maybe I forget.
Who knows? But although when I originally saw that, I thought, okay, that's kind of dumb because it's like it reminded me of the scene in Batman vs Superman with Save Martha bit. Yeah, that's pretty much the KVU equivalent of that scene. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So yeah, so they team up.
A few people to get Jameson as Rex and.
All right, so they team up and Dale comes back, or Lord Dale, and they fight. But then guess who shows up to save the day? It's Fatso again. Why does Fatso always have to save Jameson? It's weird. Whatever. And he'll do it again later in the season, but never mind. So they're on their way, Jameson, Barbara, and Fatso. And then Jameson is trying to get some people together to help fight King Midas, which includes Kermit. But Charizard, like the doofus he is, no offense, Charizard, you're not dumb, your character's dumb. He shows up in the Dark Forest, but because Fatso's drunk because of the random random wine he found in the forest, he tries to eat Charizard, and when Charizard screams like a little girl, it alerts Richard, or his name's Rex right now, to the 19's location. So they are going on a chase, and Fatso follows Charizard into the forest. Jameson runs into Rex, and they fight. Barbara is just kind of there. Why she didn't interfere is beyond me. She's a chicken, I guess, or something. And Fatso kind of forgets what he was up trying to do, but then he also pulls out a sword, and that is the sword that was actually mentioned in Legacy's battle, because, yeah, I'll let him talk about what the sword did in Legacy's battle.
Well, wielded, ultimate power within itself.
Yeah.
That's all you really need to know.
Yeah, Evil Jameson wanted it, but he couldn't have it because it could only be drawn, because Arthur decreed that it could only be pulled out by the one true 19, which isn't Evil Jameson. It's Fatso.
Of bravery, and then it was scraped out, and then the two words of bravery were scraped out, because Evil Jameson believes he's the true 19.
But he's not. I mean, he even says that in Rise of Skywalker, because when he says, and now they'll give true power to the true 19. So he believes himself to be the one true 19, but he's not. It's Fatso.
Bravery, yeah.
Yeah, anyways, so Fatso gets the sword, and he very brutally, in fact, cuts off Rex's... Sorry, I keep calling him Richard. His name's Rex right now. He cuts off Rex's hand, and then Rex runs away, and then King Midas demotes him and turns him into demoted Rex. Womp womp. But anyways, so they do that, and then it's musical time. Yay!
So, time to sing the recap.
The plot is gaining steam. It's time we do this thing. Here's what's been happening to Jameson. Whatever. But we don't have time for that. What we do have time for is to talk about what's going on with King Midas's army. He's pretty annoyed right now because Lord Dale failed, then Rex failed. Now he's giving control to and then the Dark Evil Lord betrayed him. So now he's giving basically full power and full lead over to General Alex. And he's just completely and utterly disgusted by demoted Rex. I mean, he makes him sleep in one of those plastic tubs with a beanbag over his head. It's sad. It's real sad. And so that causes... And that really causes Rex to really go through an identity crisis because this man, this doggo invaded his home turf, brutally attacked him, told him his name was stupid and gave him another one, and then made him sleep in a bin and just continued to insult him. So he's getting really fed up and he goes through an identity crisis, but we'll come back to him later. Meanwhile, they're walking through the forest. They're trying to get to some high ground, but guess...
We should say that Jameson gains a dead army.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that part in Sword of the Stone. So Jameson, while he does have Kermit, he needs a little more oomph. So he asks Barbara to give him the power of the dark, dark, evil way, but Fatso's like, no! But Jameson's like, do it! And then Barbara does it anyway, because she's a wimp, I guess. And then he gets...
That gives him enough,
power
to bring back Abby.
Yeah, he brings forth a zombie army, but he also brings forth Abby, but Abby's like, I don't want to go to work because I'm scared. And so she runs off to Spencer Island. And then Jameson's annoyed because he wasted that magic. And well, that was pointless. Just like Abby's sacrifice. Anyways. But I feel like let it be said that Jameson, obviously, when he gets the dark, dark, evil way, becomes more irritable. He becomes more arrogant. He becomes more annoyed. As you can see in Galavan, he's more easily annoyed by Barbara and Fatso. And after that point, he becomes more of a jerk towards Kermit and people around him. And I feel like that's going to culminate at some point in the finale. So anyways. Yeah, but also, remember that wand we mentioned that Charizard stole and it'd become important later? Well, it is now, because it's a password-protected wand, and he holds on to it, and that will become important later. I do have one question about that. So, all the wands are destroyed, right? But he still has the password-protected one. Why don't they just use that one? What happened to that one? Did Charizard take it back?
Are we talking about an egg? We're still on Galavan.
Oh, that's right. We'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, I'm talking about an endgame. Sorry, I'm.
Galavan happens. Act 1 is everyone preparing
for the war, and then Act 2.
Everyone else walk through the pipe and then arrive on the other side.
Yeah, and guess who's waiting for them there? King Midas's army. But fortunately, Jameson's got some backup because Charizard said he'd go off and make an army, and he could make anything. He had the good Wi-Fi, so he can make anything. What does he make? Toads, because clearly what we need in our life is more toads.
But these toads are 3D.
Wow, what an achievement. Well, look at that high quality hacking. And then let's talk about Kermit for a second. Kermit forms together some groups. He forms together 2 of his friends from the Muppets, Fozzie and Gonzo, and he brings Goofy and Stitch and Nerd and himself, and those 6 create the So-So Army. But because Kermit's an arrogant jerk and only cares about himself, the rest of them leave him. Nerd can't leave. He's just too attached to Kermit. He's too attached to him. I'm sorry. So they're stuck there, and Kermit just automatically becomes the self-appointed de facto chief of the Toad Army. And so they go to war, and it's a good day to die, but nobody actually really dies yet. So because nobody really. Yeah, why didn't we see some dead toads? I wanted to see some dead toads. Where were the dead toads? Anyways, so Jameson is able to convince Alex and Dale to come back to his side. He slaps Dale and sends him in a dream sequence with his younger self, and he sings a little bit about how he's sad, but then Alex interrupts him. I know the feeling, Dale. Anyways, so Jameson originally wants to go get Abby to fight King Midas, but he sees Richard. He's Richard again now, and he's able to convince Richard to join up with him and betray King Midas, even though King Midas told him not to. And they go off on a secret mission, even though it's not really a secret because they're singing really well, although that's the joke. But it's not really a secret mission because
magic juice, whatever it is.
The time juice. Oh yeah.
Wine. Yeah.
Yeah, the wine. He gives them the wine.
Called cursed wine or something because it's really mysterious.
I mean, Jameson didn't even drink and he was already drunk. It's weird. Anyways, so they all go and they meet up with King Midas, and it's a good day to die again, but still nobody's died yet. That's the end of Gallivant. Great episode, 10 out of 10. And then immediately after Endgame happens, and that's really long, they try to fight. So Richard goes off to fight the aliens who are there, who are protecting King Midas. And the 19 trio tries to fight King Midas, and they fail. I mean, King Midas, they generate their shields. And so King Midas needs to zap somebody with the 13 curses in order to destroy all life except dogs. And nobody's got no one else is there because he can't zap himself. And he can't zap any of the 19s because they got shields. And he only has one shot then he needs to recharge. But guess who shows up? Shmebulok. That's right. Shmebulok makes his big debut. And he immediately he debuts, then immediately dies. And then everybody else dies. Yeah, that's the first time Shmebulok really makes an appearance. But anyways, so everybody dies with the exception of all the dogs, which includes Goofy. Goofy's still alive. So fast forward 5 years later, Goofy's playing chess with Lizzie. So, you know what's interesting is that there have been a few implications about a relationship between Goofy and Lizzie before, because in Froggenstein, Goofalus and whom we can assume, Eliza, who we can assume might potentially be a Lizzie ancestor. They're the same breed of dog, and they look very similar. So that probably will never be explored someday, but maybe. Who can say for sure? So Goofy and Lizzie are playing chess, and Lizzie gets an assistance of a mysterious human hand, which shouldn't be there at all. Why is that there?
No, because a dog can't move a chess piece.
Did Goofy build like a robot hand for Lizzie, and then he just forgot about it? Maybe. Okay, so Goofy gets stubborn because Lizzie's really good at chess, apparently. And so he goes to throw the chest away. One thing about that scene, that trash can smelled awful. That thing stunk. And I had to get really close to it when we were filming that scene, and it was awful.
It was hilarious.
It was terrible. Also, I gotta say, another thing about that scene, the joke, that was impromptu. I just thought of that on the spot, where it's like, Russell time machine, who would throw that away? Oh, right, I did. So yeah, so Goofy goes back in time, hits King Midas with the car, even though the bunker's underground. How he got down there, I don't know. Maybe the car can move. Well, we know the car can move through space and time because in Frog of the Future, which we'll come to in just a second, it goes from Ohio, Columbus to Genericsville, USA. But maybe Genericsville is in Ohio. I don't know. I assume it's somewhere in like Kentucky, but I'm not sure. Anyways, so Goofy hits King Midas with the car and gives the 19s a little bit of time to retaliate. They fight for a while. And Charizard, Nerd, and Kermit show up and do a whole lot of nothing. Except Charizard is able to give Jameson a wand, which he uses to fight.
King Midas destroys all the wands.
Oh, yeah, he destroys the wands. And, yeah, except for that one, which Charizard has, and he gives Jameson to fight. But meanwhile, while they're fighting, Dale gets bored of fighting, and he gets lazy, and so he goes on the couch to watch the fight. But then he notices something in the time machine is some time juice, and so he does the only sensible thing when faced with a mysterious liquid, which he's not even sure what it is. He drinks it. And due to King Midas saying that his face would need 300 years to fix... Oh, great. Oh, no, not this again. Jameson, should we do it?
Sure.
Fine, okay. All right, Charizard, what is it this time? Do what?
Hello? We're discussing.
Yeah, we're trying to do a stream right now. The last time you interrupted because we had a question, but then you started going off on a rail. But we're trying to do a thing right now. Yeah, what does green got to do with anything? I'm this close. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't press this hang up button right now.
I will unsubscribe.
Fine, you
Are
can.
you threatening me, Master?
Jedi. Are you threatening me, Master Jedi?
Yes, I am.
Well, in that case, I'm going to call the space police. Oh, wait, you are the space police. I kind of forgot about that. I mean, technically Jedi are space police. Let's just call it what it is. But anyways, back to Endgame.
Yeah.
So King Midas destroys the wands. Charizard gives him the wand. Dale fixes his face. But then guess who shows up to save the day for like the third time? It's Fatso, because he's scared of the zombies and he doesn't trust them. You really should have listened to Fatso. Those will become important later. Also, let it be said that something I forgot to mention about Gallivant is that Barbara's pissed off because Jameson resurrected Abby and doesn't care about her at all because Jameson doesn't really care about anybody except himself. Let's be real honest here.
Don't forget about his show. Also his show.
The show is an extension of himself. Anyways, so yeah, she's mad at Jameson. That'll become important later. Remember that. Anyways, so back to King Midas. Fatso shows up and he pulls the sword out of his butt. Why did he put it there? I don't know. Why did he do that? All right, but anyways, so they fight and they teleport off somewhere. I have no idea where they went, but they go somewhere and they're gone. And so that's the end of that. And Abby at some point moves back into the bunker with them and she explains where she was, but Jameson never lets her finish. And then they go off and do another thing. But in the meantime, Goofy goes forward in time after the fight's over. They fix the time machine. They repaint it black. And Goofy goes forward a few weeks in the future. And guess where he ends up? In Frog of the Future with Kermit and Nerd, who did not die because Goofy was there to hit King Midas so that he wouldn't destroy the life and stuff. So, yeah. It sounded like a dying pigeon. What was that?
It was my pigeon.
You don't have a pigeon.
Clearly, John. Clearly.
Anyways, so Frog of the Future, Goofy shows the guys his time machine. He makes one fatal mistake. He lets Kermit get inside. Kermit does his thing. They are traveling back in time into the 80s. And they do a thing where they set up a joke with Jameson in the 80s with a short that never happened. And then that short was supposed to set up Kermit the Frog 4, which we filmed, but never happens.
I need to go to the live stream to see who you're looking at. Which one of us are you looking at?
I'm looking at you!
Why?
Because you need to make the short so Charizard can send you the footage, which I hope he didn't delete. He might have. Charizard, you didn't delete the Kermit. Did you save the Kermit the Frog 4 footage or did you delete it?
Let me check.
Oh boy. I think
When was this?
I don't know. Earlier. It was earlier. Look for Kermit and look for James and Kermit in the forest.
Let's continue the stuff.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm getting off track here. So they go back to the 80s. They meet a guy. They meet two people. They meet Prof, who actually was the one who invented time travel and actually was the one who discovered the Upside Down long before Alex found out about it. And he named it the Upside Down, so Alex didn't name it that. And also, they meet his son from the future, whose name is actually Vindex, even though I forgot to mention that in the episode. Don't worry.
Yeah,
When
that footage. We're good.
Good. Thank you. But anyways, back to the thing. I forgot to mention in the episode that his name is Vindex. Don't worry. When he does return, because as you guys saw in the trailer, he'll be coming back. I will officially reveal that his name is Vindex. That is his name. That is his name.
Yeah.
So they summon a curse where a giant golden dragon eats him. Kind of reminds me of somebody else, but that doesn't matter right now. What matters is that they successfully get back to the present day. Prof goes off to the future, and Kermit and Nerd are still on the streets. Now, I'm not sure what comes next in the timeline. You can tell me what it is. Right now, I need to look for a charge for my iPad so the Discord call can keep going. So, James, Society. Oh, yeah. So this begins the arc where Kermit and Nerd are looking for a new place to stay, and their first look leads them to the temple of a cult called the Honorable Honey Society, led by Pooh. His name is Pooh, although his name might not have always been Pooh, but it doesn't matter because it's Pooh now. And that's when we get reintroduced to Eeyore, because now that everybody thinks Constantine is dead, Eeyore's got to find himself a new position of work. So he's trying to get in with the Honey Society. And what they do when they get new members is they pull out this pot, which they use to brainwash people, so they forget about their past lives and are fully committed to the society. Just plugged in my iPad so I can come back now. But then Kermit and Nerd, rather Nerd, because Nerd always has to save the day. He sticks Pooh in the pot, and Kermit convinces him he is a bear named Winnie the Pooh who just wants some honey. And Pooh is totally fine with doing that. And Charizard just turned on his camera, but I can't really turn it. He's got really big headphones now. So that's nice. I need to take a breath for a second because I was doing all that talking while I was trying to get a iPad plug.
Next is Triassic Land.
So we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, so they don't have a place to stay. They could stay in the castle, but they don't want to because death cult and all that. Then Triassic Land, that actually takes place on the same day because that's why it's later at night because it's the same day. But in that time, Kermit somehow found a way to break into a little place called Liberty Park, resurrect the dinosaurs, and create Triassic Land. However, Kermit is stupid, and he lets out the dinosaurs, namely Rex the Tyrannosaurus, and Kermit and Nerd make a break for it. But of course, remember this, that Kermit lets out the dinosaurs, but he never puts them back. And so the dinosaurs are running rampant this whole time, and they're slowly getting more ravenous and hungry. So when four unsuspecting guys walk into it later, they're going to want to eat them more than they wanted to earlier. So remember that. Got it? Remember? Good. Maybe even write it down. Okay, so Triassic Land happens. What's next?
Real estate.
Oh, yeah. So they keep looking. The next night, they're in the dark forest. They're getting ready. They're ready to go to their last resort, and they're going to move into Kermit's swamp, or one of them. And they notice the haunted mansion. They get mixed up with Roach Soda. Roach Soda tries to trap them. They realize that the Phantom is still alive and living in the mansion now. Although he probably moves out at some point when he probably moves out. He probably makes a break for it once he realizes what Roach Soda's plan is. So he's probably out on the run right now. And we get introduced to Jameson's favorite character, Dead Tom. Everybody's fan favorite character.
Best character. You should come on to the Discord server and just spam Dead Tom.
We have a Dead Tom emoji on our Discord server. Come take a look. I'd like to point out that the title said featuring Jameson 19, but now Jameson isn't saying anything.
Unlike me, who is saying everything.
I just need to change the title to featuring Charizard 27, clearly. So anyways, Roach Soda reveals that as a Spectre, he needs to feed off people's life forces to continue, but if he feeds off a living life force, he doesn't need humans to say his name 3 times. He can just pop into existence and stay there. But Nerd picks up a proton pack, which was actually built by Professor Prof, but we'll get back to that in a second. And he sucks up Roach Soda, but then when they leave, he tosses out and Roach Soda gets out. I don't know if you guys realize that, but that's what happens. So anyways, Kermit and Nerd are walking in the forest, but when they discover a video camera recorded by Prof, and Prof was the sciencey guy that Roach Soda mentioned, and it turns out that he's got a bunker around here that he used to live in, but he doesn't live in it anymore. Kermit and Nerd find it, and they get in. Also, you'll notice that the key to open the bunker is, actually it's over here on my desk. It is shaped like this. It looks like a Star Wars holocron. If you look closely in the togetherness number of Gallivant, Fatso's chewing on it. When they're and listening to him eat together. Yummy. Yummy. He eats it's like a bear.
Dead Tom.
No, Dead Tom's gone now. He's not here right now. But anyway, yeah, he's got it on his screen over there. Maybe I can turn. No, you guys can't see it. You saw my window.
That's amazing.
But anyways, forget that. We're moving on. They've got a bunker now. Yay! But meanwhile, Jameson's got some problems because the zombies, under the influence of Barbara, I believe, turn on him and try to get him. So he runs around the forest in black and white, whispering very loudly. Like, that's some of the loudest whispering I've ever heard. And
He's gone.
I think Jameson's having trouble with his audio. You good, Fom?
I think.
Yeah, he good. So anyways, he's having trouble with the zombies. So Jameson tries to get some spells to get it out of here, but he's still working on the wandless magic. And guess who he accidentally summons? Lord Vader. He plucks him out of the Lord Vader dimension and brings him here. And he's worried the Lord Vader is going to come after him, but he instead goes after Nerd and Kermit. And so while Jameson is dealing with the zombies and Dale's purple hair that lasts for like 5 seconds and then is gone, Nerd and Kermit get mixed up with Lord Vader. They escape in a spaceship that looks a lot like the Millennium Falcon. They have a cool fight with Lord Vader and the pigs. They head back to Earth because they were outside of Earth's orbit. And Kermit crashes the ship, so Kermit and Nerd don't have a spaceship. Sad. But now they've got a bunker, so that's good. And, okay, so where are we now, Jameson?
We are in
the end game.
Catch up.
We did that already.
You don't have to go for Roger Vlogs. There's not a lot of plot there.
Yeah, there's nothing important about Roderick Vlogs. It's just a side adventure. However, we did film a Roderick Vlogs 9, and we finally...
It's a duck blur.
We'll get to that in a second. But anyways, we did film a Roderick Vlogs 9, and it finally introduces Rolf, but Jameson still needs to edit it together. But meanwhile, so Duck Blur, we get to meet Donald Duck, close comrade of the Goof. And he's a famous actor. He's got a lot of wealth. He's very successful, unlike Kermit. And he's a nice guy. So he's basically the polar opposite of Kermit. A successful, nice actor who still gets work. But, however, he's not devoid of trouble because he got himself in some trouble with a gangster known as Panchito because he ate his omelet. I don't know. Panchito's really sensitive. But Donald takes him down, and that was just an episode. That was a filler episode, and mainly just a way to get Donald into the show. It's not that important. But yeah, he's there. He exists. What happens? Charizard's audio was overlapping. What's happening?
Froggy Boogaloo happens.
Oh yeah, and we finally get to meet Miss Piggy. Although we don't get to see her, we just hear her. So we know what Miss Piggy sounds like now. That's cool.
And installed to Roger, yeah. And then Psych the happens.
Psych the movie! Yeah. Which kind of forgot that even though it came out in the Christmas season, in the timeline, it was nowhere near close to Christmas. You forget about that?
First episode.
But anyways, we discover, so in the cold opening for Sword in the Stone, King Midas mentions that the spell book is a nerd book. And I asked you, King Midas, you got something against nerds, bro? Do ya? Huh? What's the deal? Why are you discriminating? Why are you hating? But anyways, he mentions that he's going to give it to the Buyer. And the Buyer is a name that floats around for a really long time. We don't know who it is. But then we discover, oh gosh, it's Constantine. And there's this really cool chase between Jameson and Constantine. Constantine heads down to the bunker. Alex traps him behind the door, unaware that that is where the Kermit and Nerd's bunker is. So in that time, a lot of things happen. Jameson is visited that night, total Christmas Carol style, by the ghost of the second Jameson, who kind of warns him about Barbara, but Barbara's off. But then Barbara has allied herself with the monsters from the first season, such as Freddy, and she leads them to a trap on Alcatraz. And obviously in Jameson's dream, we get the best character in the KVU, Pony Boy.
Oh, yeah.
Say the line, Jameson.
Stay
Stay
old.
old. Alright, anyways, so they go and they fight Barbara, and Abby shows up, but they don't kill her. They just lock her in a jail cell where she probably runs out of food and water and is probably dead by this point anyways. But never mind. So while Jameson, meanwhile, Kermit and Nerd are dealing with Constantine and his return, and
Constantine returns, the best episode.
Shut up!
This is the con.
Yeah, so I'd like to point out something. Me and Jameson mentioned this Charizard. You get to hear it now. So this is all happening on the same day. Jameson and I are both dealing with old foes. Jameson is dealing with a bunch of monsters on Alcatraz. Me and Kermit are dealing with the world's most dangerous frog and Charizard. It's time for some tennis! And you're out playing tennis with Roderick. Jeez. Get a life, man.
Hey,
Anyway, so yeah, that happens. Project Logs 3 happens on that same day. But yeah, but Constantine's back and he's in prison, but Mickey is getting ready to make his next move. Mickey is closing in. He is coming. So remember that.
Where does he get imprisoned?
Probably in Alcatraz too. It just says a maximum security prison, but I can pretty safely say it's either in a regular penitentiary, but most likely it's in Alcatraz too.
So how did they get him into Alcatraz too? Did they fly him out to that place?
Yeah, because Nerd says I'm going to turn Constantine over to the authorities, which he does, and then they probably fly him over to Alcatraz too because they don't have any prisons that are secure enough in the area. So they fly him over there because that's the most secure place.
Alcatraz too, perhaps Panchito.
Yeah, I think that's where Panchito is too. So basically in the KVU, if you lock up a villain, they go to Alcatraz too. Let's just establish that right now. No, that happened already. All right, what's next?
When it's closer to Alcatraz, we can talk about the end credit scene for Psycho.
Oh yeah, end credit scene. Forgot to mention that. Jameson and Alex are getting ready to have their Christmas, but who shows up? But Donkey. You'll remember the Donkey at the end of Gallivant was going off to find the source of the magic, and he disappears for a while. But then he comes back, and he's gotten in some hot water with Richard. And so Jameson and Donkey's given Jameson a present that's very important, and he doesn't want him to drop it. So there's something important in there. And they're on the run from Richard, which will no doubt, actually, I don't want to say no doubt because it'll become important in the Winter Soldier. Coming soon. Jameson's almost done with that, by the way. He just needs to send me my Donkey lines so I can send them back.
The Donkey lines, I recorded all the Richard bits. I do need to do some green screens, and then I need to do the B plot.
Which is going to involve Abby and Dale, and they're going to be doing stuff. I'm not saying stuff because it's a spoiler. I just legit don't know what they're going to do. They're going to do stuff.
Yeah.
I have a hunch it has something to do with Medieval Jameson, but I'll have to wait and see. Anyway, so they're on the run, and Psych the Movie and Winter Soldier. What else is happening in the timeline right now, Jameson?
You beat up Roderick.
Oh, that's right. Puzzled. Where Nerd, it's like, that's, Puzzled is Ultra Instinct Nerd. Let's call it right now. Puzzled is where we meet Ultra Instinct Nerd.
So Puzzled, Bennett's big trouble in the bunker of 19.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, so that must happen. Yeah, Jameson told me there's going to be a time jump between Winter Soldier and Guardians 2, so that's probably when Big Trouble takes place. So we pull back the curtain on the mystery, and we discover the 19 bunker is above the Kermit and Nerd's bunker. And Kermit summons Roach Soda. So Eeyore comes in, Roach Soda shows up, Hobo Nerd makes his debut. A lot of crazy stuff happens. There's some big trouble. But Jameson makes it right in the end, and it's great. I love that episode. It's a great season opener.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely the best season opener we've had so far.
Best season opener, yeah.
Hey, wait a second. Where's Elmo is scary and Elmo is scary too?
We'll get to that in a minute. We haven't gotten there yet. Yeah, we retconned the original too. It's just the 19 cut now.
I tried.
Well, you tried and you failed horribly. The lesson is never try. Oh yeah, and then he comes back later in the night and he has a vision of Mickey. Now, I don't want to give away too much, but I'm just going to tell you guys this. Obviously, you guys can infer, and I've mentioned it briefly, that in the finale of Kermit, let's just get it out of the way, guys. Come on. Hello. Charizard? Is this you again? Well, hello. Whatever your name is. I don't want to say...
I don't even have the live stream open.
Hello, I'm new. What is this? So this is a live stream for a connected video universe we have. We're just discussing the timeline right now. We have a part 1 of this, actually. It's called Discussing KVU Lore Part 1. So you might want to go see that. If you're new and you haven't seen this before, you might want to go watch that now and maybe come back later. But I would try to pronounce your name, but I don't want to mispronounce it. So, anyways. So, So Hobo Nerd. So guys, let's just get this out of the way right now. I've mentioned it before. It's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious that in the... Oh, you're from Egypt. Hi. Well, hello. Oh, your cousin is watching too. Well, hello from the U.S. Hope it's nice over there in Egypt. I've never been there. Hope it's life is... He said hello. Well, hello to your cousin as well. Hi, I'm Nerd. These are my friends Jameson and Charizard. We make videos with Kermit the Frog. So anyways,
And also, hold my video for a second.
No, I can't turn the camera. No, nobody wants to see Waluigi. Get him out of here. I literally cannot show you guys on camera. That my Chromebook doesn't work that way. Get him out of here. Also, you're all pixelated right now on the screen. You look weird. So anyways, where were we? Oh, yeah.
Shaking my head.
What do you mean life sucks in Egypt? No, I didn't say that. I mean, I hope life is well over there. I don't know what life in Egypt is like. I hope it's good. We were an empire back in the 6th day. Well, that's cool. Look, I'm sorry if there's any misinterpretation here. I'm not trying to insult or anything. Just gonna once. There we go. Yeah, just gonna. Moving on. Anyways. Where were we? Oh yeah. So Hobo Nerd. All right, for the 4th time, if we don't get interrupted again, 4th time's the charm. Here we go. Let's just get it out of the way, guys. You all know it. I've mentioned it. Let's just call it what it is. Mickey in the finale. He's coming. He's gonna do crazy stuff. He's gonna try to do whatever it is he wants to do. And Hobo Nerd foresees that. He foresees the coming of Mickey. And Alex could have prevented it, but he was too lazy to take a second look. It's all Alex's... Like, forget Kermit. It's Alex's fault. It is Alex's fault. So, okay. Where were... How much is food in the USA? I don't know. It's...
Yes.
Probably, like, overpriced. I'm not sure. Charizard, did you just time out yourself? Because Gnome was timed out by Archives out as extras. Those are both you. You timed out yourself. Why did you do that? I'm so confused. I am so freaking confused right now. What is happening? Anyways, okay. So Hobo Nerd's vision, that happens. How old are you? Can't say that. Privacy and all that. This is getting weird. This is getting off topic. Jameson, where were we? Yes, we did that already.
Elmo's scary then.
All right, here we go. Time to talk about Elmo. So let's rewind for a little bit. Turn back the clock for a second. Back to when Kermit was recently fired. He's in a bit of a funk. He's doing tons of crazy things. Working in a bar in NYC, doing that. And then one day, because he's probably... I wanted to assume... I wanted to imply that Kermit was drunk when he did it, but he burned down Sesame Street. That's what he does. And
hold on, I just needed to check something real quick.
And annoys, and that takes off Elmo. Ouch, that's harsh. All right. Anyways, so ticks off Kermit or Elmo. Elmo decides to give himself voodoo powers because that's the perfect thing to do. He waits all that time. I'm wondering, why does Elmo wait so long to get his revenge? Because it was like 30 years at best. Why does he wait so long?
That will all be explained.
Will it really, though? I doubt that. I seriously doubt that it's going to get explained. Alright, whatever. Hold on.
Just
gonna do a thing.
Video real quickly.
Okay. Alright, well, you watch a video, Charizard. Alright, so we're talking about friggin' Elmo.
A very certain video.
Why, Charizard? What's happening? What are you doing?
I'm doing nothing.
You lie. He's doing something, you guys. Get out now before it's too late.
I'm doing absolutely nothing.
All right, friggin' Elmo. Let's talk about Elmo. So he waits. I am not pulling that up. I refuse to touch it. I refuse to open it. I refuse to open it. Okay, anyways. So, let's chat for a second. So, Elmo, he is scary. He lures Charizard into a trap because he deceives Charizard into believing that it's all just a prank, even though he really wants to murder everybody. And this takes place somewhere around Halloween, close to Halloween. But, what's it? He, what am I trying to say here? He lures Kermit and Nerd and Jameson into the trap. Charizard still thinks it's a prank. Elmo reveals his intentions to Kermit. He reveals that it is actually real, but nobody believes him because Kermit's a liar. See what happens when you lie. When someone's trying to kill you, no one will believe you. So don't be like Kermit.
That's a bit extreme, but yeah, sure, I guess that works.
And so Charizard decides to give Elmo therapy, and that goes a little wrong. I'm not sure how, but it goes wrong somehow. So later that night,
Elmo is scary. 3.
2.
2. Sorry, I'm still using
2.
the old numbers.
Forget that. You're still holding on. Let go.
I'm trying.
Anyways, so let the past die. Kill it if you have to.
I can't kill it.
Do it. Anyways, so what's it? Then the Legend of Frankenstein happens. We learn the origins of Dead Tom. We learn about the we learn about the origins of the ancestors of Nerd and Jameson, and that's about it. It's a pretty simple special. All right, so after Legend of Frankenstein, I believe on that same night, that's when Goofy's dream happens, right?
Yes.
Goofy gets warned about the coming of Mickey, and he just says he's got to warn Donald. So somehow, Goofy has a connection to Mickey, and Donald's in on it too. So, and they've got to prepare for the coming of Mickey, however that's going to happen. Well, I know how it's going to happen, but they don't, so I'm not going to say. And you don't either. All right, so what happens after that, guys? We got to get back on track here.
Fat Man 2.
Oh, yeah, Fat Man 2. Jeez, how do these streams keep ending up being so long? We're going to have to do a part 3 at some point. Let's do Fat Man 2, then we'll end here.
Hey, wait. Why not just finish?
Because I'm lazy, and I don't want these to be too long. Anyways, so Fat Man 2, we learn the end. We learn Fat Man's true identity, Bryce Wallister, and now Jameson and Charizard know Fat Man's true identity. We find out where Fat Man lives, and we find out more about him. So, guys, Jameson, can you tell? So, honestly, I do want to end the stream here because I'm getting tired. My voice is getting tired. But can you tell them what might be coming next in part 3?
No, let me finish.
Okay.
I want to finish it.
All right, do you guys want to finish? Should we finish this up, guys? What do you think?
Yes, I'm going to finish it. Charizard's taking over.
Oh no. We gotta end now before it gets out of hand.
Okay, next.
All right.
The many minds of Earth's mightiest nerds.
Okay, you see. All right, fine. Seriously, guys, I say we end it here and come back later. So we'll see you in.
There are 10 more videos.
Yeah.
We can finish.
Well, some of those videos are really big, like Earth's Mightiest Nerd. That one's a big one. And my voice is getting tired.
Then let me speak.
But you're not in the title of the video. Let Jameson speak. He hasn't spoken in a really long time. Jameson, why don't you talk about Earth's Mightiest Nerd since my voice is tired?
Did we even go over Fat Man?
Yeah, I just did.
Alright, Earth's Mightiest Nerd. Goofy comes into the new bunker. He's like, hey, I got a machine. And
How can you split your personality into
you nerd.
5?
Why nerd?
Because of his DNA type, rare DNA type that only Nerd has.
Yes. That's
No.
one. So he performs
You're
a blown spell.
It's not magic, it's science, dum-dum.
Yeah. Or it's clone science. Boom, did it.
Clone science.
He clones him like 6 times or 5.
Yeah.
And then there's like lots of different nerds, like smart nerd, happy nerd, cool nerd, emo nerd, and bully who sips his refreshing water nerd.
Hey, the best one. There's also an evil one. There's a crazy one.
Also, it's cloned into an evil one because all of his
Hey, what are we on?
have been put into him, and then the bad ones have been put into Earth's craziest nerd.
AKA Z. And he runs off. The rest of the clones go with him, except for Smart Nerd, who stays behind so he can go crazy. So they go around, they absorb the rest of the clones, Z comes back, a Smart Nerd tries to kill them, but Z killed him. He accidentally gets sucked through the emergency exit. They think he's dead. Oh wait, it's riffing on both Bunker Warlock and... Why are you pointing your finger gun at the screen right now? What's happening?
Because that's a good summary of the episode.
Oh yeah.
Alright. Okay, anyways. Alright, guys, I just want to clear up something right now. Me, Jameson, and Charizard take swings at each other from time to time, but we all good friends. It's all in good fun.
Bang.
Except for Kermit. We all hate Kermit.
Yeah.
Anyways, so let's finish this up. So Z gets scars. No. Alright, so Z gets scars along on his face, and he kills Happy Nerd, and then that's the end. So Z's still out there somewhere. You'll see him later.
Alright, is that where we're ending, or are we...
Yeah, we're ending here. Part 3 will be really short because it'll be the last ones.
9 episodes left. Just let me finish.
Fine, what's next?
Okay, Triassic Land.
Triassic Land 2. They go back to Triassic Land. The crazy old man shows up there for some reason, gets eaten by a dinosaur, and then they leave. And it turns out Kermit didn't actually build the park. It was already a park. All right, next.
Yep. Next. Just 2 more Roderick vlogs.
Boo. Get him out of here. Nobody don't know about it. Kermit Treasure Island. Kermit tries to reboot Muppet Treasure Island. It fails disastrously, but at the end, he gets an invite to his family reunion. And then in the Frog Family Reunion, he goes to it. And we meet a bunch of other members of Kermit's family. They're all pretty stupid. But then they leave when things get out of hand because they get all mad at Jameson because he says he hates banjo music. Now a bunch of frogs are gasping somewhere. And then Miss Piggy, when Roderick shows up late, Miss Piggy finds a DVD copy of Kermit Treasure Island. She gets mad and tries to take down Kermit in Revenge of the Divorced Wife, but it doesn't work because of Roderick's interference.
And then my second favorite episode, Jameson is missing.
Oh yeah, and then Jameson is missing.
Me and
Kermit go off in the dark forest to look for Jameson when he's off in Pencilland. They have a fight with the evil wizard guy. They're tracking a monster called the Backsoon, which isn't actually evil. He's real, and he's a pretty nice guy, and he falls in a pit, and he's still in a pit somewhere in the dark forest. So yeah, and that's about it for Jameson is missing. And then...
That was the 2 KVU shorts.
Yeah.
Happy Holidays and Kermit.
Happy Holidays is a video message that is found presumably by Nerd from Z, which, although not Nerd because he still doesn't know that Z's out there. We don't know who finds it, although it is in the bunker. That short's really confusing, but it still just re-emphasizes that Z is still very much out there. And then Kermit's present. Kermit brings back an old bomb from the original bunker, and it almost activates, and they chase around, but Nerd's able to stop it from killing everybody, and that's nice. And the last one is Kermit the Frog the Musical, which will be coming in 20... No! Alright, guys, that's it for the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this look back through the full lore. Okay, bye!